Is it recording now?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's loud.
Is it? Is that better?
Remember, side.
What? Oh, hey.
Side. Hello.
Hello.
My name is Mauro.
And I'm Dan.
And this is Cool Animal People.
Cool Animal People.
Cool Animal People.
Cool Animal People.
It is Friday.
Well, it's Thursday when we're recording.
No, it's Friday when the episode comes out.
It's Friday. It's
Friday. Remember that?
Yeah.
What was that 2008? 9?
I don't know.
10?
Well,
Time is fleeting.
you know what isn't fleeting?
The CBD industry.
Shut up. That was what I was going to say. Fucking flawless execution. So,
Yeah.
our guest today is none other than the president and co-founder of one of the largest pet CBD brands in the country.
Probably D.
Yeah.
Right?
Pet
D
Releaf.
largest. Pet Releaf spelled
Like leaf.
leaf.
This way, if you're reading.
Like this. Also, hi audio. I feel like we haven't acknowledged audio. But if you want to see us talk to the guest in video form, because that's what we do on Fridays, come to our YouTube.
Come.
It's on the description.
Check us out.
It's on the show notes. Click the link. But yes, Steve Smith, super cool dude. He's out in Colorado, and Pet Releaf makes fantastic products,
They do.
CBD products for your pet. If you don't know anything about CBD, if you don't know anything about pets, if you don't know anything about products, this podcast is for you because we're going to teach you. We go through a lot. This was very information intensive. There was a lot of information to digest during this.
Yeah. There was a lot going on.
But it was fun. It was a fun conversation. I think we went over like an hour.
Yeah, no,
10.
but it was like if you are interested in learning about CBD for your pet, or if you give your pet CBD, Steve was a wealth of knowledge.
Yep.
Lots of really good information. I learned a lot. I actually left with more information than I started. But yeah, I mean, this guy knows his stuff, and they are doing some really
Oh my
cool
God.
things
They
over
are
at Pet
at the
Releaf.
forefront of the future of pet CBD for everyone, for like just as an industry. And he gave us some teasers,
We actually had our first exclusive.
yeah.
So you got to listen to the whole thing.
Yeah.
But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Steve Smith. Welcome, everybody. We are here today with none other than the president and co-founder of Pet Releaf, Steven Smith. Steven, thank you so much for being on
Thank you for
here.
coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for having us. We've been trying to do this for 2 years now?
Oh yeah, no, we'll get to that.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
get to that. So we have a little story where we go way back that if you've been listening to the podcast in the last year, we've talked about.
Did we talk about it?
I think so.
Okay, we
Have
did.
we?
Maybe.
Probably. It was like 60 episodes.
I don't know. It's
All
been
right.
a lot.
But yeah, there's a little fun connection in the
Oh, absolutely.
history. So Pet Relief. What is Pet Relief?
Tell
we
us
don't know
a
what
little
Pet
bit
Relief
about the
is.
company first, then we're going to dive into who Steve is and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, so Pet Releaf, we're pretty much the pioneers of the CBD category in the pet industry. So we moved to Colorado 9 years ago to start the business, and it's been quite the wild ride watching CBD go from get the fuck out of my store, you're getting my dog. What are you trying to sell weed pot for my pets? I'm like, no, it's not intoxicating, to now today where you guys are in Brooklyn. Last time I was in New York, I think every shop I passed had some type of CBD in the window.
Absolutely.
Every single coffee shop.
Bodegas, pharmacies
Yes.
now. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Clothing shops that are selling CBD
Hemp
little
pants.
things. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
The world has changed a lot since you guys got
And
started.
we're going to talk about the stigma in CBD and how it's, hopefully, decreased in the last, 5
Oh,
years.
it's changed a lot.
Yeah, it changed a lot. But
But before we get into that, Steve,
Yes.
we'd love to hear a little bit about who Steve is, how you got started, and kind of what brought you to here.
Yeah, well, I grew up in Florida as, a little surf bum kid in a smallish town called Vero Beach, which was originally the spring training grounds for the LA Dodgers, formerly Brooklyn Dodgers.
oh, wow.
Shout out to
There-
Brooklyn.
there's another connection.
Yes, so it was Dodger Town. We used to ride our bikes out there, and Steve Garvey and all those guys would sign all our stuff. And so, went to college, did the job thing, traveled a bit around the world, and came back to Florida. Met Alina, my co-founder of the company and wife, and she had Chelsea, our daughter, had adopted a rescue that literally was in a kill shelter, and she was a collie mix named Maddie, and lived a block from the ocean, just the proverbial great little Florida lifestyle, and would go run 4 or 5 days a week along the beach and Maddie would run the whole way. And then she started getting a little older, started getting a little bit of the hip and joint issues, because we didn't really know about all the nutrition and things that could have slowed some of this stuff happening, all those inflammatory properties that are in a lot of the kibbles. So the hip and joint issues started becoming worse and worse, developed into some pretty severe arthritis. Unfortunately, there were no really good alternatives to fairly heavy pharmaceuticals in those days. This dog literally, everyone says, oh, my dog's part of the family. Maddie, she was totally a member of the family. And you could just see her just suffering. So we're just frantically, what can we find? What can we find? And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I keep hearing about medical marijuana. Is there really a medical to this medical marijuana term? And started doing the research, found out that Dr. Mechalam in Israel and his team had been studying this since the late 60s. Holy shit, this actually is true. It's not just to get stoned.
It's not just hippie nonsense.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it really was legit, peer-reviewed science behind the medical marijuana. And you don't have to get stoned to receive these benefits.
Yeah.
So anyway, started researching more. There was a dearth of research on dogs specifically, but all mammals have the same system that interacts with the cannabinoids in the cannabis plant. So started doing a little bit more research. Unfortunately, we lost Maddie before we could start this company. But, we like to think that there's millions and millions of animals that we've been able to help. And it's kind of in her honor, because we would have never started this business if it was not for her and just frantically freaking out, trying to find a solution for her. So, in some ways, I guess she was the soul
catalyst.
That's the catalyst. Yeah, really she was. And so, yeah, we've been out here, like I said, for 9 years, and it's been quite the ride. I mean, I started with Deloitte out of college, of all things, as a dorky CPA auditor.
I got a lot of friends who worked at Deloitte now are doing fun stuff. It's a great company to start with, though. Like they really teach their people well.
That company, when Alina and Chelsea hear this, they're just going to rag me to no end, because I'll drop the Deloitte thing here and there just to like mess with them, But, it also does add credibility when you're speaking to bankers or people that want to maybe invest in your company, or you're talking to sophisticated, multi-door chains or things like that. They're like, okay, you're not just some mom and pop. You guys actually know what the hell you're doing. So, yeah, our CFO's from Deloitte. Also, actually, he was a partner in New York for 9 years.
Oh, really? Yeah, they churn out good people, man. They do good work over there.
Yeah, and they treat people extremely well too. The company's beautiful inside and out. So yeah,
that's awesome. Now I will say this: so we did a pretty deep dive, and we were looking at pictures of Maddie, beautiful dog, and
gorgeous.
The biggest thing for me when it comes to companies that we look at and brands that we want to endorse and products that we work with is I like to see what their story is, and is this is this just somebody who, because you've seen it over the past decade. Everyone's hopped on the CBD train, but I love hearing that this comes from a place of like genuine compassion where, this started because your dog was in pain and you wanted to help, create a better quality of life for her. And I think that's a beautiful thing when, you're solving a problem that is not like, all right, I'm solving this problem because I could generate X amount of revenue in this many quarters and I will
get
a
return. It's an emerging market, blah, blah, blah.
No. You're doing something because you wanted to make the life of your dog better. And, like you're saying, you guys have helped a lot of people. If I'm not wrong, you guys have, I think this is back in April, but you have 65% of the pet CBD market. Am I wrong?
Today, it's gotten so fragmented, to be honest. We're probably more like 35 these days.
Still a good number.
New companies coming out every week.
So it's fragmented where the pie has gotten quite a bit larger, but now there's probably there was 3,500 CBD brands at the end of, what are we in now, 21? At the end of 2019, there was 3,500 CBD brands that we could identify with some analysts that we work with. So it's probably more than that with the bathtub gin guys that are at the farmers markets, right? You know?
Yeah. I like that.
COVID's been really tough on us and as a world, as a human species, I guess, but it has helped get rid of some of that riffraff that should never have been getting into CBD. Yeah. Just like you said, Mauro, the people that are just, I've got a dog and I like weed.
Yeah.
and
I can make money.
Right. And, yes. And a lot of those products were downright dangerous. And I'm not trying to be the fear monger here, but so many of them were downright dangerous because of, and I know you guys are familiar with different extraction methods. And, we would ring the bell as loud as we could. And thank God in the pet industry, pet parents listen 10 times more than stuff for their pets than they do for stuff for themselves.
100%.
For themselves,
100%.
Or even for their human children.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. We deal with that constantly with our clients.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's gross stuff out there.
Take your kid out for lunch at McDonald's, but hey, is this CBD isolate for my dog or is it full spectrum?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many gnarly ways of doing extraction. That, they've got butane, they've got these dirty ethanols that they're using, and people don't realize what that washing
chemicals.
It's just the washing process of extracting it. It can be dangerous if you don't know what you're doing.
Stay away from it.
Yes.
No, but it could be a very dangerous process, and it's really important that people know that where they're getting their CBD from. We actually just watched a video of you talking about CBD isolate.
Yes.
How you need that, one, from the perspective of the CBD being uptake into your body and being able to actually do what it needs to do. You need that full spectrum CBD. So I would love to hear about.
Can we first talk about CBD for people that don't know?
Oh, yes,
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, we got the dog agreeing to talk about CBD. So what is CBD? Where does it come from? Just explain it to us like we've never heard of marijuana before.
Teach us like we're 5.
Okay. So you have the cannabis sativa plant. There's 2 sides of the family. You have the marijuana side, which is what people have been familiar with over the last 50, 60 years. That has high levels of THC, which is the cannabinoid that gets you high, gets you stoned. But it does still contain levels of CBD, very low levels, but there's always CBD in all cannabis plants. As well, there's always THC in all cannabis plants. So the difference is the marijuana side of the family is the one that's heavy in the THC. There's also another 120, 130 cannabinoids, minor cannabinoids, we call them, CBG, CBN, all of these other molecules that all play a part in what this plant will do inside your body. The hemp side of the cannabis family that's what we at Pet Releaf use. It is very high concentrations of CBD and then very, very low concentrations of THC. So we grow our own strains. We partner directly with our farmers because we grow a specific family of hemp plants that we're probably like S5. Anyway, we're like in the 5th, 6th generation of our.
That's great.
That's cool.
You must have some reliable genetics there.
Yes, exactly. So you guys are familiar with this. So we're
very.
a lot high.
Sorry, no, we're 5. We don't know anything.
Yeah. So we're getting consistency in the botanical, which makes it easier to have a very consistent end product. So I could nerd out all day and tell you guys about some of that stuff. But to get back to the question on hand. So again, the marijuana side has the 130 cannabinoids, THC being the most dominant of the 130 on that side. Over here on the hemp side, you have the same 130 cannabinoids. CBD would be the most dominant. So that's the main difference here. So, and then CBD, as far as medicinal, as far as its medicinal properties, there are thousands of studies. Some of them are peer reviewed. Some are just single arm, where a scientist would, it's not fully double-blind placebo type stuff. But even our own National Institutes of Health, the U.S. government, has said that there is significant scientific, I don't know if they use the word proof, but their scientific word of proof to say
evidence, maybe?
Yeah, scientific evidence. There we go. Yeah. That a full spectrum CBD that's clean has significant anti-inflammatory properties. It's basically a turbo boost to your immune system, improves brain health, and slows the aging of your brain. So I don't know about you guys, but I did enough damage back in college days that I'm taking the shit every day.
It's both myself and my fiance take it daily.
Yeah.
It's actually funny. You know how, the government, CBD has been in that weird, like, legal gray area.
The limbo between Schedule 1 and...
But it's funny how, like, the government has had patents on it since, I think it was 98.
Oh, yeah, we talked
they
about
filed
it.
that first patent, and it's just like...
Yep.
It's got to be immensely frustrating because you've developed a product that helps animals, that is... very good for them. You're the real, like, the
very
main,
natural.
The main thing that CBD is helping to do within the body is reducing inflammation, right?
Yes.
So being able to do that, and then you're dealing with people being like, oh, you're giving my dog pot, or you're going to get my dog stoned. And then you've got, I think finally in the last few years, things have really changed. But like, what has that been like for you guys in terms of like the business and having to really be a pioneer in the space? And because it really was an education thing. It wasn't just marketing and sales. It was changing people's
whole mindset
perception.
that's been,
Well, and that's the company's motto, mission statement is we are on a mission to change what healthy means for pets. And that is the guiding principle. We by far, I mean, and that's not just a motto. Like we live it, breathe it every day around the company, the entire Pet Releaf family. But we by far have the lowest turnover of any CBD, of the top 20 CBD companies in the world. We by far have the lowest turnover, probably because we're the pet guys. We're literally changing and saving pets' lives, which improves that household. If I help you with your bum knee, you're not necessarily going to reach out to the company and oh my gosh, but when we help your dog's limp, bad hip, it's amazing. You really, why am I working 60, 70 hours a week? Because I love it and we all love it. So in the beginning days, Dan Amaro, it was just like you said. We said, look, we have to be an education-centered business. And, we did a deep dive in the business analysis. We never would have put inferior or shitty products out there to begin with with our family's name on it.
Yeah.
But, and I know this is way overused as an analogy or metaphor by people, but we, in our minds and the family speaking, is we want to be the Apple of the entire pet industry, not just CBD. And so we set out, and I was walking door to door getting F-bombed out, and Chelsea, same thing, F-bombed out, and we just hung in there, stayed at it. And, we started getting a little bit of traction, got some customers, some partners going, but I would go and give seminars. I would go personally train all their staff. We would do in-person seminars, every weekend. That's what I did. Like every Saturday I was doing, pet parent education seminars, and we were flying around, driving around the country, doing the same thing. It was all education for the first really 3 years. The 2014 Farm Bill started opening up more people, but still maybe 10% of the U.S. population even knew what the heck CBD was, and it was not going to get you stoned at that point. And I'm not kidding. 16, 17, when marijuana was legalized in a lot more states, is when you started getting a little more traction. So fast forward to today, there's still only 30 to 35% of pet parents that know CBD is even safe or able to be given to their pets. So you're talking about a massive amount of Americans that still don't know that CBD is okay for your dogs. So we still have a ton of education. We have multiple dedicated customer service people that answer, like you guys were joking about, the 5-year-olds, what the heck is CBD 101. We still do that daily. Yeah. And then you have the people that are the self-proclaimed experts that we speak to, that they've read Dr. Google a couple times of some guy's blog, and they think they're the experts.
That's not what this study showed.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that makes sense.
And now with the education, so then you have the CBD 101 that you still have to understand, you still have to explain to people. Today, we've also got a significant amount of, we invest a significant amount of time and money, frankly, educating now on how do you discern what is a safe CBD product? So like 3 years ago, I came up with this thing called the 5 questions. It's still on our website actually. And that, again, fortunately being the pet industry, buried a lot of these people that were crawling out. And she's sorry to be rude, but these are pets and we love them. Literally like cockroaches coming out with, they're buying isolate that's sourced from China. You know, it's not the same today, but 3 years ago, 90% of the isolate was China. And the number one testing lab in the United States, who is 3 times more expensive than the ones I use in Colorado, it's one that's based in Massachusetts.
I actually use them.
You know who I'm talking about? Yes. Yes. They have, you know, top university research level equipment. They sent a warning out to us industry leaders saying, guys, put the word out. We can't do it just for, you know, ethical, whatever, the legal reasons. They didn't want to get drug into lawsuits. But on a daily basis, they were finding double the toxic level of paint thinner in the isolate-based products. And these are products people were bothering to send to the most expensive lab in the U.S. Yeah. Okay. So paint thinner, guys, in the isolate, because it was coming in from China. And that's the easiest, cheapest way to just leach that stuff out of the plant. It's and
gross stripping agent.
And as a pet owner, you don't have the resources or time to test every single CBD treat or food or tincture that you get from a company to have it tested to see if it's good or not.
Yeah, especially if you're new to it. I would actually, before we continue, I would love to know, what are those 5 questions? Because I think that would be a great piece of information for people.
Okay, I'll see if I can remember them. So one, I can tell you the most important one to us as a company, which we try to just rinse, repeat, say it, rinse, repeat, say it, rinse, repeat, is if someone's claiming organic or they say it's organically grown hemp, they better have a USDA organic seal or they're lying through their teeth. The biggest private label person that came in and put like 500 pet people into business 3 years ago was literally telling these people, just use a small O for organic, and then the USDA won't say anything to you. I'm like, what? You are, I mean, just crooks.
Wait, so if it's lowercase organic,
yes, then you can lie. Then it's okay.
That's
to lie.
Insane.
Oh yeah, yes.
You can put a small K for kosher too.
Yes, right.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
That's insane.
It was that ridiculous what was going on in the pet industry, and it still is. I mean, if you go in one of the stores that has me, Pet Releaf, and then 4 other brands, probably 3 of the other 4 will claim to be organic or organically grown, and they're not. They are not. So, which is a shame. And the reason that's so important, I'm going on and on, is the hemp plant and the marijuana plant for all purposes, cannabis, essentially picture a vacuum cleaner. Anything that's in that soil is going up and being stored into the cannabis plant. Not all plants do this. Hemp is being used, for example, at the Chernobyl radioactive disaster site, because instead of 10,000 years, they're using hemp to collect the radioactive isotopes, and then they do controlled burns. But hemp is the only plant that will pull all that radioactivity up into the plant and store it so you can get rid of it. Why am I saying that? The vast, vast, vast majority of hemp that's being planted used to be cornfields, some of the tobacco in Kentucky, but let's say here in Colorado, it's 90% plus are cornfields. What does corn get on it? Roundup.
Yep.
And Roundup, even if they haven't used Roundup in the last 3-4 years, let's just say, it's still there in the soil.
Oh, for sure.
And now you're ingesting that, you know. So I hope Monsanto doesn't come knocking on my door, but we're like obsessed with the organic side with this plant, because we know what happens if you don't do it the right way. So that's one. The extraction method. What extraction method are they using? Just like you mentioned earlier, Mauro, it's changed, but earlier days they were all using butane lighter fluid. You know, now butane has lost some of the glamour because it's being regulated more. It's a lot harder for them to just use the butane.
Right.
They'll be using non-food grade ethanol, like you mentioned, Mauro, which, to be clear, if someone has a top quality food grade USDA certified organic ethanol. And they have top level equipment where they know how to get all that ethanol out where there might be just 2 parts per million left. You can have safe products for that. Now, we would never, ever say that that's good for the pet population.
Yeah.
But you and I, we have a lot of things that we ingest already that have been ethanol extracted. You know, the Egyptians were using alcohol extractions back in the pyramid days. So humans know how to do it, but it's got to be done the right way.
Yeah.
Where's the hemp from? People all claim, oh, it's organically grown in Colorado. Brightfield Group did a survey, and then we on the U.S. Hemp Roundtable did. The number of companies claiming that they were using Colorado hemp, the entire state of Colorado would be one giant hemp farm.
Just one big field.
You know, but again, there's no regulator, there's no judge or referee saying bullshit. You know, you bought that online from some dude that's getting it from China. And then, what are the other ones? The extraction method, we talked about that. I'm forgetting the other couple right now. But anyway, those are like the 3 big ones. And then are they using isolate, which kind of goes to the extraction method, because like we've already spoken about, isolate it's used very toxic chemicals to get it to a single molecule. So for those that are watching or listening, when we're saying CBD isolate, there's other fancy words. They'll call it 99.9% pure CBD.
Yeah.
They'll call it CBD crystal. They'll call it CBD powder, pure CBD.
So redundant too, because pure and 99.9% should sound better, but it's not, because it's not working in conjunction with the other cannabinoids.
You know what's funny is they'll call it 99% pure, full spectrum.
That's redundant.
That's the whole thing. That's, you know, with such
the language around
a new market, there's people just don't know the verbiage, and they're like, okay, they just see CBD and they think, oh, this is a great product. I'm still processing the lowercase o thing, because now I'm like, what in my life have I been consuming that was organic?
Go to Whole Foods and we can check the CBD that they're selling there.
Well, see, the thing is, people like Whole Foods, the bigger, FDM channels, they vet products because they don't want to be part of a class action lawsuit. Right. But when you're going after, we're in 7,500, 8,000 stores around the U.S. now, 4,500 would be single door or maybe 2-door owner operator types. They, like you said a moment ago, they don't have the resources to vet and prove. And a slick salesperson comes in. Oh yeah, no. That company also, when we started calling them out on it, started telling them to just go around and say that Pet Releaf did some kind of bullshit, like they must have bribed a USDA official because you can't get certified organic in the hemp world, which was a tiny kernel of truth. The only kernel of truth was the USDA had frozen organic certifications. We were one of only 2 companies that got the USDA organic certification. So it's been quite the ride. And it's like you said, the terms that people use to trick the consumers, it's really kind of hurt the market. And the fact that it's at the convenience store and every bodega, and it's next to the 5-hour energy and the you're having sex problems pills, everything. It's
insane. There's so many products, and like we were talking before about the connection that we had, that you reached out to us. Yeah. I think it was late 2018, we started talking about making a documentary about specifically, literally your whole life's work. Yeah. CBD use in pets. Yeah. Right. And we called it Pot Dogs. And the first reaction that we got from people when we posted about it
was the name.
Pot Dogs.
You can't give your
dog pot. I'm like, okay, exactly. You proved our point with the title. Right. We wanted to take the stigma away from the fact that, we can call it pot, but it's not pot, because if you educate yourself, you know what you're giving your pet.
I think honestly it was just a really good name.
It was a fantastic name. Are you kidding me? We came up with it in like 5 minutes. So
absolute clickbait. Clickbait.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So we started making arrangements to interview all these, industry leaders, and we even learned a lot ourselves from CBD. We talked about peer-reviewed studies. We read through Google Scholar articles like 3 miles long, and we did all this research.
I think we memorized that one patent too.
We did, yeah. I had it bookmarked. I don't know what it is. But then Steve Smith reached out to us, and we have the email.
I'm looking at the email
Oh my
right
gosh,
now.
that's awesome.
So it
Yes.
says, spurred by their own dog Maddie's arthritis and her reaction to opioid medications, Pet Releaf founders Alina and Steve Smith sought effective and natural alternatives. The frustration of trying to find truly healthy choices caused them to create their own organic. You guys had lowercase here, just so you know.
Well, there's rules behind that, which I won't bore you with now.
Their own organic CBD infused treats, leading to the company's inception and launch of new products. So yeah, it's so funny because we were in communication. I think you guys were one of the companies we were going to come out to Colorado to interview in person. So eventually we do still want to do that.
We had the whole route planned. We had someone in Seattle, we had Oregon, we had California, and Colorado. We had the entire West Coast and then Colorado to travel out there. But then, COVID happened.
Horrible places to visit too.
Yeah, it would have been such a drag.
We were so bummed about that trip.
Right.
I think this happened like 2 weeks before COVID hit. We were like about to, I was like,
I'm the one that told you to not to.
I was like, dude, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just buy the plane tickets. He was like, I don't think so. I'm like, no, everything's going to be fine. This will go away in a few weeks.
Yeah.
The hindsight.
Well, we should. And it's our state, I think April 5th, I heard the mask mandate goes away. So, I'll go ahead right here, invite you guys out. We'd have a blast. Take
we'd love to come out there.
Seed to sale tour for you guys.
That would be incredible.
Take you to the farm.
To do that.
Done.
When you meet a couple of my farmers, you guys are just going to lose it on how cool these guys are. They're doing regenerative farming right outside Boulder. God bless the people.
I love that.
Oh my God.
Got hurt a couple of days ago. But so we do regenerative farming, like legit, where they bring, and Boulder lets them go through the open space. So they bring cattle, goats, whatever, and they come in and they graze and tromp through the field. And they use different types of grazing animals because they'll have to explain to you why that, and the different ways that they churn and graze. It's how Mother Nature, built herself back whenever.
We can do a full feature on just this.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
We're gonna book our flights after this because you guys, it's all outdoor growing, right?
Absolutely.
So one of the things I think is amazing about it. So I know that the hemp plant
tempting us
is so impactful in terms of carbon capture.
Yeah. Oh yes.
So you guys as a company, you must offset a lot of your carbon footprint overall.
We haven't done the where you go pay a company, but we are carbon
with just the growth.
Yes. Now we're actually carbon negative as a company, and so we are probably late this year. I'm going to invest some money and do it going into next year because again, regenerative farming, we never use one chemical ever. So we get rainwater, Colorado spring water. Or Colorado snow melt. I'm from Florida, so of course I call it spring. Colorado snow melt and rain and sunshine. That and then the poop and manure from the livestock, from the animals. That's it. That's all our plants ever get.
It's a whole cycle. It's a self-sustaining ecosystem.
That's honestly one of the
it's
definitely one of the best ways to grow. Is I've worked with growers up in Maine. I've worked with growers out in Colorado, helping them do marketing stuff. But I've worked a lot in the in their grow ops and the outdoor products that it's just they just make a beautiful product when you're growing outdoors. Obviously amazing. Indoors you can do some great stuff, but I don't know. I feel like when it comes to anything cannabis related, anything you can do outdoors that's going to be kind of having a positive impact environmentally is the way to go for sure.
And so we're not doing these heavy diesel, big giant combine harvesters anymore. We're literally, so it's a lot more labor intensive, to be honest. It costs more, but for us, it's worth it because we think long term. Well, we don't think, we know, just us as human beings, but also just pet parents are more in tune to things like this, more than just your average consumer category, I think. So when we're able to put this story out there of, look, regenerative farming, our joint venture that does all the baking of our treats is certified 100% wind power. So that's carbon neutral.
Awesome. I didn't realize that.
That's carbon neutral. And then our extraction facilities, to go back downstream, our extraction partners now. So the guy, the founder of this, has become a dear friend of mine. We discovered that we're both jam band nutballs, so we just have clicked. Because there's a lot of hoodlums and assholes running around the CBD world, right? You know I've got
there's
this
a wide spectrum of human beings.
A full spectrum.
Yeah, there we go, the full spectrum. So we, in fact, you guys are the first to hear like publicly, but you're going to see some, like literally, this is the first time I've said it public. So,
hold on. Can we get like some bells or something?
Cool Animal People exclusive. Put it on the screen.
Yes. No, legit. So Sean has invented this new extraction. So we don't have to do even CO2 now. We're using the plant's own terpenes to do the extraction. So we're doing, and it's a patented, like literally people are like, oh, I have a proprietary extraction. Bullshit. Everyone says the same, again, like organic. They say it and they're full of baloney. So it's called Terpenes technology. Literally,
so many questions. Keep going. I have so many questions.
So the terpenes are pulling all the beneficial compounds out of the plant, including all of the terpenes in the plant, which even with the CO2 levels that we have, the sophisticated CO2 equipment that we had been using, you're still not capturing all the terps. Terpenes are very volatile. Many of them are. So you probably captured 30, if you're lucky, 40% of the terpenes, even with our level of equipment.
Do you want to actually explain real quick what terpenes are for our listeners?
Okay, so terpenes are what you smell. So when, like even flowers have terpenes essentially. So these are like essential oils, essentially kind of
like tannins in wine as well.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
So terpenes are not just in the cannabis plant. In fact, quite a few of the terpenes found in the cannabis plant are also found in a lot of the, a lot of the other plants and flowers and things like this. So, and then the other thing that's my dog running around. Sorry. That's
excited about
toy.
He's excited about terpenes.
She heard the terpenes. Sorry about that. Thank God we're on a pet interview, right?
Yeah, right. You're on a pet friendly podcast, so you're good.
Yeah. So I got 2 dogs and a cat all looking at me right now. Like, what are you doing over there? So that's what the terpenes are. They're the basically what you smell, and then the flavonoids are the other part. That's what you taste, right? So like if you eat hemp, it's kind of that hempy taste. So that's what flavonoids are. So by using the terpenes, that's what we use to now pull all the stuff out of the plant, because we can't eat the whole buds. You have to concentrate the beneficial parts. So again, no chemicals. We're using the plant's own genetics and parts of the plant itself, and then we recapture the terps. So this has taken a while because you have to get enough terpenes to be able to do this, right? And then the way Sean does it is then we're recapturing the terps. So it's a closed loop system, I guess is what we call it. And for maybe not tech, but essentially a closed loop system with the terps. So that's, again, carbon negative, if anything, right?
Yeah,
because nothing's going to waste. Because a lot of, with the spent biomass, when you've used, especially the guys that are using ethanol, things like that cannot be used for anything. They'll just let the ethanol evaporate, and they just go throw it back into the fields. Again, uses carbon to be able to move it, So we're really proud of essentially we are a carbon negative business.
That's actually, why is that not on your website? I saw that.
I know. Yeah.
We don't nowhere on there.
He said it's new, so
we would. Yeah, the Terpenes technology is brand new. Like you're going to see.
Just the carbon negative stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's so appealing. That's such a great thing as a company.
Yeah, we could come out and say it right now, but we don't believe ask anybody that's ever done business with us ever. I mean, we're very just ethical, straight up people, and we take the long-term view, like
I like that.
I was doing some real estate development stuff back in Florida, because you're either a real estate guy, a doctor, or you're the lawn guy. Like that's your job. Those are your 3 choices in Florida, unless you're a bartender in the Keys, right? So, but I saw the people that came in and they were just quick bucks, and we just
fast Miami money.
We just have done things the right way. So anyway, the carbon negative thing, that's what I was saying. Late this year, we're going to go through the process where it's certified by one of these official certification agencies.
I love that.
Yeah. Just like the USDA Organic. You can bullshit or you can do it the right way.
Yeah. You don't put it up unless you have, evidence. That's good. Perfect.
So
Yeah, love it.
now the extraction process, is that patent pending, or do you guys get the patent issued?
It's patent pending, but it's
Okay.
like it's a no brainer.
And you heard it here first. So if anyone tries to steal the process, you can use this video in court. But make sure they follow us on our social media. And
good luck trying to figure out how to do it anyway. This guy is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's his background like?
What's his process? How does he do it?
Right?
Take
Yeah.
us through
Tell
it.
us. Give us the cookbook.
How does this work?
Yeah. I think his 6th grade science project, like literally his science project when he was a kid, was trying to make biofuels out of algae.
Oh my God.
All right, so he's the right guy for
Yes.
this.
So
for
this is like
role.
the Elon Musk of Colorado.
Yeah, the guy has been, and he'll be okay if I say this, like like a nerdy guy on that type of, he's always wanted to do, he's come up with these different extraction methods for botanicals because he really believes in sustainability and all those things. Again, like we spoke about earlier, it's not a Johnny come lately looking to make a few bucks here real quick.
Yeah.
We've made millions and millions and millions of dollars of investments because we're going to be in this for the long haul. We want to continue to change the world. And that's the partners we have. Back to the banking partners, they participate in the refugee resettlement program. I think it's like 27 languages are spoken amongst their 600 employees. And
Oh, wow.
They give free scholarships to the children of these folks as they're, okay, if you have decent grades in school, we'll pay for your college. I mean, they're a supplier, a manufacturer. No one would ever know that. So just amazing people that we partner with.
I wanted to ask about COVID. How did COVID affect not just, because everyone talks about sales and revenue, how did it affect the team, the growers, the whole process? Because, it was what, a year now, right?
Yeah.
It's been a year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So can you tell us
It
about
was quite challenging, again, because a lot of the hand harvesting and things like that, it's, pretty damn hot even, or, it depends. It could be snowing because harvest is end September into October. It could be snowing, or it could be, hot, not humid, but, just a hot day out there. So it's like, okay, do you make these people wear masks? Because literally that's a safety hazard. You know, you could, because you're not getting all of the carbon dioxide expelled, and you get short of breath. And so it was very tough on I call it like the manufacturing side. We were quite lucky. We didn't have any significant things around the company, but fortunately we had just added another whole, like we added a third again more square footage. So we were able to have people kind of work. I think we had people starting at like 6 a.m. and then, we kind of let people kind of have different times, but we had probably 10, 12 feet of distancing between any two human beings. So we put every protocol possible in place to protect our people because, everyone was scared to death.
Yeah.
But we were deemed an essential business right out of the gate because we're considered almost like a pharmaceutical. We were considered quote unquote the pharmaceutical division manufacturer. So we were deemed an essential business right out of the gate. But we were very careful. We let people work remote, no questions asked. If you're uncomfortable, if you had a pre-existing condition, just speak to our HR manager. Just let her know. It's all confidential. You stay remote as long as you need to. So I think. I know because a lot of them have really made a big deal about how thankful they are of how we didn't go crazy, like freak everybody out. We showed confidence of, guys, we're going to get through this, and so, I'll call it the background side, that's why we have such strong partnerships with the people that we do business with. Yeah. Because when problems come up, COVID's a massive example, but even if it's like a manufacturing snafu, we had a hailstorm and lost 25% of one of the fields, because we help fund all these things. If you're friends and tight with these people, then you figure out ways to make it work, right? Yeah. Now on the retail side, so many, again, the smaller, a lot of the two-door pet stores around the country, they don't have big e-com presences. They may have a basic website. So they were taking phone orders. They would go set it at the curb. It was really, really, really tough on a lot of our operators.
Oh, sure.
All the dog foods got emptied in that
Yeah.
first 2-3 weeks, gone. It was like
Everyone panic bought everything.
yes, yeah, and then they had nobody around for 2-3 months. So unfortunately, I think California probably about 20% of the smaller independent pet stores are gone. Now, some of them were thinking maybe I'm going to retire in the next few years, but quite a few just no money to pay rent, can't pay my bills. I got to go get another job. It sucked for, it does suck for a lot of our longtime partners. Yeah.
On the small business side, like in terms of working with, I noticed, I know you guys do not sell your product on Amazon. And I think in the world that we live in today, like Mauro and I, everything we buy is, either Amazon or it's going to be in person. I love seeing companies like you guys at the scale that you're at being like, I still want to work with these small businesses.
Yes.
I want just from talking to you, it sounds like I call it the art of giving a shit.
Yeah, right.
You sound like you're somebody who genuinely cares about the well-being of people, and you want to continue to do that through distribution, basically through the whole supply chain here. Was that something that you guys decided from the jump, or was it like in the beginning, like maybe we should go on Amazon? Like, how did that whole thing get kind of played out?
I'm so glad you asked this question. The first thing I'm going to tell you, though, to make sure everybody, again, watching, listening, the stuff on Amazon ain't fucking CBD. It's completely counterfeit. Amazon is saying that they're not selling CBD, but these people are putting I've got 10,000 milligrams. I think I saw one that said 100,000 milligrams last week when somebody pulled it up to have a laugh. It is disgusting, the stuff that is on Amazon. And so, hopefully they're not listening because they're, Darth Vader, in my opinion. And
Jeff does listen to our podcast, just as a heads up.
Yeah.
And I would shake his hand and say, sir, I'm not going to denigrate your success, but I think your company sucks of what it's done to the American retail space. Everyone used to blame Walmart, but Walmart would be out of town. Kind of messed up some small towns. Agreed.
Yeah.
So you can argue that, this is another new efficient way to do it. But, the problem with us are first of all, it's a moral thing. So you're right. We have the art of giving a shit around our company because these small businesses that we partner with all around the country, they love these animals. They're educating their customers, the pet parents that come in their stores. They really do care. Amazon, the products on Amazon, they don't give a shit other than how much money can I make, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying everything on Amazon. I did not mean it like that. But unfortunately, it's a race to the bottom as far as even if Amazon said, you guys, come on, bring it on. We're not interested because, think about it long term. If every CPG company said, I'm going all in on Amazon, then it is a race to the bottom. It's all just going to be shit from China, and us top quality products, we're squeezed out because we refuse to cut corners and smoke and mirrors. So it's a moral thing, but it's also a business decision on our part.
I love that though, and I really respect that. I think that Mauro is a huge fan of, I know, his Amazon sweatpants that he loves to buy.
They're the only ones that fit. They're not like so I'm 6'6".
Mauro's 6'6".
Oh, geez. Wow. Okay.
I'm 6'6", 195 pounds. Usually when people are 6'6", they're over like 210 or 220. So clothes are not my stronghold when I'm buying around. Like I can't go to Levi's and get a pair of jeans that fit me because they don't make jeans that fit me.
I love it.
So I spend $12 on Amazon and I get pants that fit.
Ironically, Mauro and I are the same shirts. So I'm 6'1", 245.
Yes.
So we're the same shirt size, same pant size, and same shoe size.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he is wildly taller than me.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I mean, I
love that philosophy.
I think that's something that a lot more businesses are leaning towards. I think that, COVID, especially in the last year, has obviously had an impact across the board for everybody. But I think the big thing was it forced companies to get lean. Like for us, we COVID is why
Yes.
this podcast started. We started offering new services.
A month in.
We actually,
Yeah.
a year to the day, so we had to close the business on March 24th of 2020, and a year to the day, we signed the lease on our first brick and mortar location yesterday.
Oh,
So
congratulations, boys.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
It's been so much crazy
I think by
changes.
the time this comes out, we're gonna have some advanced.
We'll have some stuff
yeah.
out there. What
Well, we'll
did
come in
you
town.
get? Oh,
We'll
what was
come.
that?
We'll come in town, and we love coming to town doing fun events.
Absolutely. We'll
Yeah.
come to you. You come to us.
Definitely.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you, this is the beginning of a new
this is
friendship.
gonna be-
Yeah, no, I'm serious. Like
Yeah.
when you guys are doing like a grand opening thing or whatever, let us know. I mean,
Oh,
we-
that'd
absolutely.
be amazing.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
probably going to be like July, August, just as a
perfect.
heads
I've
up.
been looking for an excuse to come pretend I can skateboard still around New York. So
Done. So, in terms of what you guys did, what
Yeah.
did you do in terms of the business? Because I know you guys just came out with a new product. I think I saw the press release this morning. What was it?
Yeah.
The where
peppered
was it?
bacon.
The peppered bacon.
Pepper bacon, yeah.
Nothing tastes like bacon but bacon.
He came into the conference room, no context. He's like, pepper bacon. And I'm like, what?
It's their new product.
Yes.
Product.
What do
I
you
munch
think-
on them all day. By the way, like we're
Oh, we wanted to
So,
talk about
yes.
that.
Have you seen our videos that we have a segment that we do on YouTube called Dog Walkers Try?
yes.
Okay, so
I've
we
seen a couple of them. Yep.
we definitely have to do a special on all the CBD pet treats that you guys have because
Yeah.
we want to do a bunch of them. So we'll talk about that for sure.
Okay.
But COVID, what do you think the biggest impact on the business in terms? Obviously, we know what the negatives were. What do you think the biggest positive that came out of it for you guys was?
So if I give a quick little negative, it definitely dented our normal summer revenues because normally the summer, because 4th of July, thunderstorms, we get a big spike in sales because our products actually fucking work. When
right.
a big thunderstorm's coming through Florida or North Carolina or what have you, or the hailstorms that come in off of Kansas and they just boom, it's like a freight train coming across the plains. Dogs freak out. Fireworks, that kind of stuff. And if you remember, everyone was shooting fireworks off, was it every day at like 6 o'clock or something for the
I think
first
it was
responders?
like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So that, it was the yin and the yang as far as that goes. But, the inability of pet parents to go into the pet stores and be educated. Oh, here, your dog's freaking out. Use this pet relief stuff. So we definitely had a bit of an impact on the revenues through the summer. But we are, pre-COVID versus like right now, we have significantly outpaced what we did in Q1 of 2020. Like we're up mid 3 digits, probably percentages, like because I attribute that, and there's no science behind this, I don't think, but I pretty much attribute that to the fact that a lot of that riffraff has disappeared.
Yeah.
So the pet store owners that used to have 3-4 people a day coming in trying to hawk, I've got the best pet CBD in the world.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those days are gone. Like I talked to our distributor partners. So the riffraff, a lot of it has disappeared. I think it also allowed the more, your sophisticated business owners that are like, hey, I've really got to focus on what is profitable. What products do I really want in my store, from the dog food to the leashes, because they had to watch their money.
Oh, yeah.
So they had to be very intentional with their investments on, what am I going to carry? So stores that used to have 4 or 5 brands, they might be only, Pet Relief and 1 or 2 others now. So that's been the biggest benefit for us. And then on a, call it like a, spiritual side or what have you, I think as the 3 founders, it's given us time to kind of, because we're in 8th gear pretty much all the way up until COVID hit, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
Because I was traveling all the time. 2019, I was in a hotel bed, or not in my own home, in my bed, 6 months out of the 12 of 2019.
Wow.
Jesus.
That much traveling. So, you're going so fast that you don't have time to like sit and reflect.
Yeah.
And so the the reflection part has put some things in motion for us, some longer, 3 to 5 year business strategies where we're putting stakes in the ground now that, I mean, we're going to be back up to that 60-65% market share in that 3 to 5 year period. And I'll give you the teaser as to why. This is, again, part of the same answer to that question, Dan. So we were able to, again, slow down, and we said, okay, we're going to put a chunk of our family, we were not like rich folk moving out to Colorado to start the business. We scrapped and bootstrapped this thing, like no shit.
That's what I love to hear, though.
We refused to take on some big money guy because I don't want to fucking answer to anybody. I saw it.
No, absolutely.
I've seen it. What happens when you bring in the big money guys? You got to cut corners. You got to fire people. Why are you trying this? No, thank you. No one understands pet and or CBD, and God knows nobody knows pet and CBD together more than the people inside our walls. So anyway, long story short, we were able to go and, like I said, we reinvested a chunk back into our company and said, okay, let's go get some talent, because when this thing comes out, the rocket ship is taking off. So I spoke earlier, we found our CFO that was, 9-year partner at Deloitte there in New York. Our VP of marketing ran all of digital for McDonald's.
Oh,
wow. Yeah. And he
was mom and pop restaurant.
Yeah. Like
it's that little burger joint up the block from us.
Well, it's a small M. And then he was part of Crocs turnaround, where Crocs was like, the German tourist with the white socks, and the Crocs, it turned into like the coolest shoe. Everybody has to have them again. He was part of that turnaround. Wow. So, those two individuals. And then we brought on Dr. Joe, our vice president of product development, who he worked for the largest animal pharmaceutical company in the world, had 130 direct reports. He was the lead or on the team of scientists for, I think it's 4 out of the top 10 animal drugs that have been sold in history. This guy is like, there's not even a chart that you can say he's off the charts. It's smart. Yeah. And he's cool as shit too. That's a
good combination. Dangerous, but good.
Yeah. That's a good part about, I feel like, this industry overall is it attracts some cool, you get, like you said, the riffraff, but you also get some really cool people.
Well, and again, I'm going to pat the founders and the company, give us a pat on the back here, because those 3 individuals would never have joined a company that has all this stuff, but then they find out behind the scenes it's smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
The fact that we like to say we do things the right way, even when people are not looking. So the fact that we were able to attract 3 individuals of that type of professional level. I mean, first of all, sometimes I pinch myself like, geez, these guys are working for me. What the fuck?
How'd this happen?
Right. But it is, Joe will kill me. Dr. Joe will kill me if I give any like deep details, but we've already done 2 animal studies, and we have one right now that's going to turn the industry on its head. It's fucking off the charts.
And then we make a documentary about it.
Yeah,
I think we're going to have to.
It's going to have to happen.
The hot dogs is going to have to come back again. We'll have to add it to our list of 1,000 things to do.
Yeah, because again, it's going to be one of those things again, like with the USDA organic seal, where there's going to be a peer-reviewed, published in the top veterinarian journals in the animal world, peer-reviewed, et cetera, et cetera. It's FDA level. Like, if I wanted to spend $5 million in 3-4 years, it would be a drug. Shit. Who knows? Maybe we may end up doing that. Hint, hint, hint. But literally, because we just believe in doing it this way. So that's what COVID. That's probably the biggest benefit. Sorry for the big long-winded answer.
No. This is
the time to reflect, to really understand our next 1, 2, and 5 year strategy. And then to bring the talent in that's going to make damn sure we execute on that.
Well, that's when that comes out, we want you coming on here to talk about it, because we definitely want to be able to spread the news. Also, you guys just got it approved from the NASC, right? The National
Correct.
Animal Supplement Council.
Yes.
So
That's very proud
nice
of that.
Additional
Yeah, Bill Bookhout's the president founder of that organization, and I cannot speak highly enough of him as an individual, what he's done for the entire pet industry, because, we deal with it with all the bullshitters in CBD, but animal supplements were so ridiculous, 10, 12 years ago before Bill started his company.
Yeah.
And, it is. That assures that, people are doing good manufacturing practices. They're not making fake, I'm going to cure cancer claims, stupid stuff.
Yeah.
It's that we're really proud to have achieved that one. And then the third seal that we have on all of our products. So we're the only company in the world that has these 3 seals in the world. The USDA organic, the NASC approval and logo, and then the U.S. Hemp Authority certification. Yes. So we're, again, U.S. Hemp Authority is similar to the NASC, but it has a lot of hemp and CBD specific rules and guidelines of they verify and guarantee that you're not using unsafe extraction and that you didn't. Here's a problem with a lot of the products. They'll have a testing page, but they went and tested this bottle of tincture, but the 5,000 that went into the marketplace have nothing to do with the one that you sent to give this wonderful,
good
beautiful
test sample.
They're not doing the batch testing that they're supposed to.
Don't touch that one. That's the test sample.
Well, they are, but they're just the batch is a special bottle.
This is for all of them.
Yes. Yeah. And that's a dirty little secret that unfortunately has not been telegraphed enough, because
people always find ways to go around, skirt around the regulations and everything. What are you going to do? At least you're honest about what you do, where you source your stuff, how you grow, how you extract it.
Right.
And you even gave us a secret on the new extraction method, which, you wouldn't bullshit about that. So
I'm excited to hear more about that.
Well, you guys will see it in person when you come out this summer.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's exciting. That's exciting.
We'll fly you guys out and then take you to the farm, see it, walk through 10-foot cannabis plants, and then go to the extraction facility, and they'll explain, show you the equipment.
Oh my God!
Oh man,
that sounds like a dream.
We're in.
So fun. It's
We'll coordinate schedules after this. I guess one of the things I'd love to make sure we kind of get out there is, like, what are the biggest misconceptions about CBD that you'd want to get out to pet owners? Like, hey, this is not what this actually is.
First and foremost, well, once you get past the, if it's a properly farmed, processed, labeled, etc., hemp-derived full-spectrum CBD product, it's not going to get your dog stoned. It's essentially impossible to overdose, but going back to the full-spectrum versus isolate thing, isolates at around 2 mg per kg, 2 milligrams per kilogram of body weight, starts doing some level of damage to the liver. Again, that's isolate-based products. Full spectrum, it's a higher level. You'll see some levels of impacts, but it's not, it's not going to fry the dog's liver or your liver if it's a clean full spectrum. And if there were elevated liver enzymes, and then you or the dog stopped taking the CBD or lowered it, they all come back to normal. With the isolates, they're seeing potential for long-term damage. That's massively important because you got to know what the hell is in that product. So this is probably the main quote that people need to remember. CBD is not created equally. The way it's extracted, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Just because they put CBD on a label does not mean it's clean and good for you.
I think that's the biggest thing.
Well, you can call, like we said before, pure CBD, 99% CBD.
Yeah.
It's redundant. It's not, that's not what helps you.
That's right.
You want the CBD, but the CBD that helps you. But if something is pure CBD isolate, which in every sense of the word should be better, it's not. Because you need everything else in that spectrum, that full spectrum of all the cannabinoids, even human CBD, for humans, it has a little bit of THC because they allow, I think it's 0.3 is the law for THC in CBD bottles.
Yeah. Well, 0.3 actually is in the bud.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of the states are calling 0.3% in the final product, which depending on the milligram, potentially could get you a little bit stoned.
Yeah, that's why I was talking about human CBD, because some of my friends have bought CBD,
like
full spectrum,
the more local stuff.
Yeah, and they've taken a bunch. I'm like, dude, relax. And then they got high. I'm like, dude,
told you.
It's a little bit, but when you drink the whole freaking bottle in 5 minutes,
you're going to get stoned.
For sure. I think that's one thing that I've loved seeing too, is how this has all changed, is like, we're finally getting closer to a point of actual standardization where you get a product and it's reliable. Like what you guys, like, I love hearing that about the, the consistent genetics with the plants that you guys are working with. You're getting these reliable results with your products. And that's really what people need at the end of the day, is really knowing, all right, my dog is 100 pounds. I have to give him X amount of milligrams of CBD. This is the dosage I have to, and you guys have the dosing on the back of all the packages, right?
Yes, absolutely.
For the dogs?
Yeah. And that's another one that I'll take a lot of pride in, that our company set the entire standard that now is the accepted range of milligram per kilogram dosage across the entire animal industry. Like Pet Releaf set those weights and measurements.
That's amazing.
That was very much needed from the last. We've been doing research for like 3 years.
Yeah, forever.
Because even so, like my little poodle, she had problems with her hip. She couldn't jump on the couch out of nowhere. Like I guess she had some pain, and I had some CBD for me, like some human CBD. I think it was New Leaf. They're from Colorado, also.
Yep. And, I know those guys. I know who they are. And
I didn't know the dosage at all, and I searched the chart. It was probably you that came up that told me how much she needed.
Yeah,
and in 2 weeks, she was fine again.
Yeah,
just from little microdosing of CBD, because I still gave her a little less than the recommended dose, and it worked. It worked because I did the research. I knew that the product was good. Like I could have bought some Pet Relief. I'm sorry I didn't. I just had it. I just had it in my nightstand already. It was just like a Hail Mary moment.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to talk about now. The tinctures that you sell.
Yeah.
There's a lot of companies that sell 300 milligram tinctures. That doesn't contain 300 milligrams of CBD. And like we talked about before, you can't test it. As a consumer, I can't like drop a pH strip and it says 300 on it. I can't test it. So the quality, like how do you go about that quality assurance in your tinctures?
Well, for QC, as far as we are concerned as a company, we're doing constant testing during the entire run. So the extract, as we're doing the Terpenes extractions, it's being constantly monitored and tested. And then during the bottling, I don't know the exact number, Mauro, but we're required under good manufacturing practices, because we are truly a CGMP company. We're also truly a DEA registered facility. A lot of people, that's another one that people like to claim, and they're full of, because there's no referee again. So we are required by law and these regulatory bodies to, I forget how many bottles you have to pull. Yeah. Then we test again ourselves after that. So every batch is tested, dozens of times as far as Pet Releaf is concerned. The way an end user would be able to verify, because if they didn't know me, they could say, well, you could be doing the same thing, just tell me what I want to hear.
Right.
So what I tell anytime someone, or I just offer it up, I don't even give that example. I say, listen, you don't have to take my word for any of this, but you can come on our tour if you're one of my retail store owners. Come to the summer tour. You'll see all this full transparency, that everything I've told you is 100% exactly how it goes. But for your pet parents, the best thing they can do is to see that the 3 logos that are on my bottles, U.S. Hemp Authority, NASC, and USDA Organic, because there's your 3 referees. If somebody doesn't have those, they could be bullshitting you.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, this has been an amazing conversation.
Yeah.
This, this industry is definitely
ever growing. Where do you think this is going?
No pun intended, huh, Mauro?
Yeah.
He's big on the puns. Where do you think this space is going? Like, what do you see the future of the CBD space going for pets?
Sure. So I'm on the executive committee, board of directors of the U.S. Hemp Roundtable. So on the legal side, we have a bill going through. It's already been put to the first U.S. House of Representatives committee, but we have 99.9% assuredness that it's going to pass. HR 841. That is going to put all hemp-derived CBD products, hemp-derived products, under the DSHEA laws. So for general conversation, DSHEA, what the hell is that? That's the law that Congress put in place to regulate supplements. Yeah. So if you go into Vitamin Cottage, GNC, they're all governed under those laws versus food. Those are your normal food and beverage laws and regulations, food safety standards, etc. So DSHEA are the laws that now CBD is going to be governed under the same laws as the witch hazel that's in, the GNC or the multi-day vitamins or multivitamins, which is amazingly good for this industry because it is going to force us to grow up as an industry even more, thereby eliminating even more of the riffraff. So in the pet world, it couldn't be a better thing for us. State by state, we're still getting animals added to the various CBD laws. So there's like for example, Iowa just passed their CBD law, but they excluded animals for now because the agricultural committee was worried that it would potentially start getting marketed for cows. And then it ruins their whole industry, multi-billion-dollar industry, because one bozo starts telling you to give it to your cows, right?
Yeah. Right.
So that's kind of like on the legal side. On the kind of like human acceptance side, it's going to become more and more of an accepted supplement, medicinal type ingredient, because again, these DSHEA laws are going to help clean up the riffraff. And then it's going to allow more regulatory things to happen, thereby giving more confidence and that feeling of safety, security of your average consumer. So you're going to get more acceptance of it. I am still religiously opposed because of the science behind it. You don't need and you should never have CBD in dog kibble and dog food, or humans should not be having CBD in their cereal. CBD infused
coffee
milk,
infused CBD,
because you can hit that level. It's about 2,000 milligrams for the average human in a day, where it potentially starts screwing with your liver. Yeah. You can do too much of a good thing. If you take, I don't know the number, but if you take 100,000 milligrams of vitamin C in a day, that ain't good for you.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So it's the same thing. So that's why I like the DSHEA law, because it's a supplement.
Yeah.
So it's going to help with the industry. And then for us, we're really significantly looking at like the veterinarian space, because we're investing so much money in studies and things like that. Sorry, Sandy is the cat's outside.
More than welcome.
The cat's outside harassing her. She's like, I want to go out and play too.
She's excited about the CBD and the law,
Yes. Our Chelsea's cat's name is LeBron because her husband is a big LeBron James fan.
Well, Steve, this has been an awesome conversation.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm still processing the lowercase
O
thing. Like that's
fact of the podcast.
There have been so many great facts that you've given us. That one's still just burned right here. Where can everybody find Pet Releaf? Where can they find your products? Where can they find you if they want? What's all the socials and all that stuff?
So they can find us. They can send notes through the company's website, which obviously is Pet Releaf, but spell that like leaf on a tree. So RELEAF.com.
We'll put it here on the green screen.
It'll also be in the show notes too for everyone listening.
And my wonderful co-founder, our CEO, Alina, came up with that name, which will forever be a big gold star for her because it just translates to all these things we want to do in the future of sustainability and, use plants and things like that as much as possible to keep this world beautiful. So Pet Releaf, again, like leafonatree.com. We're on all the socials. I'm Facegram or whatever all that stuff is called. You'd have to just search for us. And as far as we really, really, really encourage people to go find us at your local independent pet store. We're in, like I said, 7,500, I think at this point, all around the country. There's quite a few shops in the city and in your boroughs that carry us in New York, but all across the country. You can also go on our website. We do have a store finder because we really, really do just embrace our independent retail partners. Because if it's not for them, the pet parents are not being educated like they need to be. So that's
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, Steve, this has been amazing.
Yes.
I think one of the most thorough talks we've ever had with anyone on any topic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like going through the details all the way from the treating of the soil itself to the packaging. I think this has been very, very informative.
Yeah. I think this is going to be very informative for our for our listeners and all that stuff. And thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us. And we are very excited to come out there and check out the facility. So we're looking forward to that trip very soon.
Such a pleasure to chat with you guys. Can't wait to meet you in person and
God,
break bread, have a couple pops, and we'll see which is first, because I want to come and help give some good luck as you do the grand opening of your store. Congratulations again on that.
We appreciate that for sure.
Awesome.
All right, Steve. Well, thank you so much, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, boys.
Thank you.
Have a great day.